going? It's got to be more than that. It's got to be an aliyah, an ascent, meaning we came down to this world. That was a step down. It's got to be to go higher than where we came. It's not enough to go back where we came, but we earned it. It's got to be deeper.
Using the same kind of relationship that we can achieve things down here that we could never achieve up there, because of doing mitzvahs, because it's physical. Maybe we are connecting to parts of Hashem that weren't accessible to us from even the highest place in Hashem. They just weren't accessible to us there, but they are down here when we do the mitzvahs.
Yeah, could be. But we've got to explain why it's better, why it's higher, what was gained from the whole project. So, in fact, the pasuk does say, fourth last line, towards the end. The descent of the soul into this world has to be in order for it to be able to go up to a higher level than it was before it came down. That we reach the level which is referred to as the level of connecting to Hashem as He brings our soul into our body, which is higher than the level of my soul is pure before it came down. What is this talking about? This is a paraphrase of a bracha. We make a bracha every morning. Elikai neshama shenasata bi tahirahi. It's a bracha at the very beginning of the morning, at the very beginning of the day, where we say Elikai Hashem neshama shenasata bi tahirahi. The neshama that you gave me, tahirahi, it is pure. The first thing we say about it is pure. Ata varasa, you created it. Ata yitzarta, you formed it. Ata nafachtabi, you breathed it into me. Va'ata asid lameni, and you're going to take it away from me. And ata mashamra b'ki, and also you guard it within me. You hold it within me. That's what the bracha says. So in Chassidus, it's pointed out some strange things about this bracha. It says the neshama is pure. You created it. One second. First, you have to be created before you can be pure. You can't describe something before it's been created. First, you have to say you created the soul and it's pure. You can't say the soul is pure and you created it. Creation comes first. The first thing is that you create it, and then you can describe it. You can't describe something before it's been created. That's true of everything except the soul. Everything in the universe begins by being created. Before it was created, it wasn't. It was nothing. The neshama was before it was created. Because being created means being made into a separate entity. And before the neshama was even created, it was pure. Meaning it was one with Hashem. It had a history before creation. Unlike every other thing that starts by being created, and that's its beginning, the neshama was there before, it was tahir, it was pure. So the bracha actually starts off by saying that my neshama, first level of the neshama is, it is pure, tahirahi, which is referring to the neshama before it was created, before it started its journey downwards. Then, after Varasa, you put it into the world of Bria. After Yitzarta, in the world of Yitzira. And after Nefachtabi, you breathed it into me. That's its descent into the lower worlds. But what is that all for? It's for Va'ato Mashamra B'kirbi. It's to reach the level where you, Hashem, guard it within me, which is described as the level that is even higher than Tahirahi, than its original state. That by coming down into this world and serving Hashem in this world, we connect to Hashem on a level that's even higher than Tahirahi, than it is pure, which is the first, where it began. And so that bracha that we make in the morning summarizes the mission of the soul. You start off as pure, then you're created, you become a separate entity, you journey downwards into this world in order to connect to Hashem on an even higher level, which is symbolized by the phrase, Vata Mashamra B'kiba, you guard the soul within me. The fact that the soul can connect to the body is in the power of the essence of Hashem that is above physical and spiritual, can put physical and spiritual together. And that can only be achieved down here in this world. So we reach the essence of Hashem by coming down here. That's what that bracha means. So says the Rabbi that it must be that the soul coming down into this world is not just to reach machshava, because machshava, that's tehorihi, that's where the soul came from. That's the origin of the soul, where it was already. It must be to go even higher than that. And in fact, in the pasuk that we're dealing with, it says it very clearly that we will connect to Hashem on that level. How so? Second last line after the brackets. The verse says that Hashem will guard for you, keep or guard, the bris, the chesed, and the shvuah, the covenant, the kindness, and the promise. But the verb used is not that he will do it, he will keep it, v'shamar. The same as in the bracha we just mentioned, that Hashem keeps our soul, guards our soul within us, referring to the level which is the highest of all. Meaning, dalidei ekev tishmun u'shmatem asisim. This is the meaning of the verse. Through you guarding, listening, guarding, and doing the mitzvahs, which is avodah de machshava over the page, dibur u'maisa. Ba'ekev de neshama, the koyal neshama shebeguf. That through you guarding, listening, guarding, and doing the mitzvahs, which means machshava, dibur, and maisa, through that being achieved by the akev, the heel of the neshama, which is referring to the neshama as it is down here in the body, ubifrat be'ikzer Moshiach, and especially when that happens at the time of the heel of Mashiach, the end of time, which is now, which is because we're going down even lower, so therefore the going higher must be even higher. I'll explain in a minute. Through the soul coming down into a body, and especially going into Golus, and especially at the end of Golus, the hardest and darkest Golus. So the avodas Hashem that we do now, with our thoughts, speech, and action, is in a way that comes from the very depth of the soul, with total mesiras nefesh, self-sacrifice, which is higher than ishtalshlus, higher than the entire system. Then Hashem will guard for you the bris, the chesed, and the shvuah, the covenant, the kindness, and the promise. B'shamar, guard. That the thought, speech, and action of Hashem that will be revealed to you will be in a way that the essence of Hashem is revealed through thought, speech, and action to you.
That was a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope nobody understood yet. Again, what do we just say? Let's not get stuck in the words, because the words are not so important. The main thing is the idea that is being taught here. We originally thought that the pasuk is saying that by doing mitzvahs, not just doing mitzvahs, but machshava dibur ma'isa, thought, speech, and action of mitzvahs, you will connect to the thought, speech, and action of Hashem. The Rebbe says, but actually, if you read the pasuk more carefully, it says that v'shamar, Hashem will guard for you the thought, speech, and action of Hashem. Meaning, and the word guarding, which we've established from elsewhere, means that Hashem will bring His essence into thought, speech, and action. Meaning, the word akev, which is what we got stuck on in the beginning, v'haya akev tishma. What does it mean? Tzemach Tzedek said it means doing mitzvahs at the end of Golus. Ikvz Mashiach, the footsteps, the heel of Mashiach. When you do mitzvahs at the end of Golus, when it's hardest to do mitzvahs, because of the darkness and because of the other distractions, and because it doesn't matter anymore if you do mitzvahs or not. It's so hard to do it. No one gives you a pat on the back. No one throws you in jail. No one cares. You do it or you don't do it. It doesn't matter. It's the hardest time in history to do mitzvahs. And yet you do mitzvahs now. That means it's coming from an extremely deep place in your soul. And who's doing the mitzvahs? Your akif, your heel. The heel is the lowest part of the body, represents the soul as it is in the body. Not your higher parts of your soul that's beyond your body. The soul as it is down here in this world, in the physical world, with all the struggles, you're down here and you're doing mitzvahs. Because the darkness is so great, because the step down is so great, so the step up must be so great. So it's specifically through doing mitzvahs in Golus, in exile, with mesiras nefesh, with total self-sacrifice, that we draw down the light of Hashem's essence. And it couldn't be done any other way. You know, the one of the most famous songs that the Rebbe taught is Tzom Lecha Nafshi. It's a verse from Tehillim that says, Tzom Lecha Nafshi Kom Lecha Basari, that my soul thirsts for you, my flesh pines for you, Be'eretz Tzia Ve'oyev B'li Mayim, in a dry and tired land without water. Kein Ba'kodesh Chazisicha, Liros Uzchoch V'decha. So too in holiness I should see you, to see your glory and your strength. What does this mean? There's a pasuk that David Melech says that when I'm in a dry land, when I'm in the desert, spiritually, when I'm far away from Hashem, in the darkness, I pine and yearn for you, because I feel the distance. So the Baal Shem Tov said that what he means by that is, halavai, if only when things are holy, I should also feel that. When things are good, when I feel connected, I should also feel the same yearning as I feel when I'm disconnected. Meaning, the nature of our soul is that the further away from Hashem it is, the more it yearns for Hashem. And that yearning, that drive, that desire, is so powerful, so energetic, that it is worth being disconnected from Hashem, being sent away from Hashem, with all the blockages between us and Hashem. It's worth all that in order to arouse the yearning. Because when we're in a state of holiness and connectedness, we don't feel that way. So the neshama, as it was above, is connected to Hashem. But there's no yearning there, because there's nothing to yearn for. It's there. It's where it needs to be. The neshama down here yearns, pines, because it's out of place.
But the whole point is to be with Hashem.
Yes.
So
but to be with Him with the yearning. With the yearning. That's what the pasuk says. When I'm in the holiness, when I'm connected to you, I should also have that drive, that yearning to be close to you.
Yearning for what if you're already connected?
It means a passion.
Okay.
It's like anything that you take for granted, you don't appreciate. When you don't have it, you wish you had it. So, what's the ideal? To have it and appreciate it. Like to appreciate when it is there, not when it's not there. So the only way to do that is to not have it and to realize what it is, and then to get it back. So this verse, this song, Tzom Lecha Nafshi, is saying that I thirst for you when I'm in the dry land. I should also have that feeling when I'm in a state of holiness, when I'm connected, and that can only come through disconnecting. So while our body is totally at home in this world, our soul is completely not at home. Completely feels disconnected and foreign and out of sorts. What am I doing here? And so when you're not in place, it must mean you're here for a reason. You're yearning for, what am I here for? And that's what our soul yearns for, to connect to Hashem, to reconnect. And it's only through coming into this world, through having that disconnect and yearning to reconnect, that our love becomes deeper, goes higher. And that way we actually connect to the essence of Hashem, which we were not connected to originally. It's like by pulling it back, it flings up so high, much higher than it was before. And how is that achieved? Through being in this world, in a body, and serving Hashem with Mesiras Nefesh. And the greater the Mesiras Nefesh, as a result of the more difficult challenges, the higher we reconnect. This is the concept that the entire Maimer is going to explain. So we don't have to understand it now, we have to just appreciate what we're talking about. The entire Maimer is going to go into this. Because the last Maimer said Mesiras Nefesh is second, so this Maimer is going to bring it back, Mesiras Nefesh, and explain and how powerful it is. Any question?
But doesn't that only happen when you die? When you get connected again, for us to appreciate it? Like, how is it possible for us to be in this world and be in that level of essence of Hashem or thought of Hashem? Even that level of connection only happens when we're not in a body, by definition.
Yeah, for most people, that it only happens when we're not in the body. Although in the Gemara there's a bracha that was given, Olam chatir b'chayecha, you should see your world in your lifetime. Meaning there are certain people who reach in this world, this level, they graduate the limitations